Push and pull characterized the rearrest of Lupi Endi Lusaka Province Chairman Obvious Mwaliteta after his offensive weapons case was withdrawn from the Lusaka Magistrate Court. This is in a matter in which Mr. Mwaliteta is jointly charged with James Sichomba for being in possession of offensive weapons during the Kafue District Council Chairperson by-election on March 27, 2019. When the case was called before Magistrate Alice Walusiko, the state applied to have the matter discontinued in line with the Criminal Procedure Code. Magistrate Walusiko discharged the accused persons after the charge was withdrawn. In her ruling, Magistrate Walusiko says the application for constitutional reference has no place, following the High Court's ruling which directed that the case be heard at its original jurisdiction, which is Kafue. She says the charge had no room in her court. After the court's proceedings were concluded, plainclothes police officers immediately surrounded the accused persons as they emerged out of the courtroom. It was at this point that the push and pull came into play by the cadres and the police officers as each party played its role. As the cadres prevented the police from rearresting Mr. Mwaliteta and Sichomba, the police officers were also pulling away Mr. Mwaliteta from the hands of the supporters. As they fired the gunshots, officers were also insulting. Police officers used taser guns to try and disperse the supporters, but all was in vain. It was at this point that they called for reinforcement from their colleagues who were stationed outside the courtroom. The plainclothes police officers with AK-47 rifles fired about 5 live ammunitions in trying to disperse the supporters. They finally dragged Mwaliteta and Sichomba to the police vehicles while they were bundled and driven to Kafue. An officer who remains behind escaped lynching as the cadres attempted to stone him, as others became emotional with the turn of events. On Thursday, police officers mistakenly rearrested Mr. Mwaliteta as they assumed that the matter has been discontinued. They embarrassingly asked him to go home after they drove him back to the court. Naomi Mwemba, Prime TV News, Lusaka.